Minister, greyhound racing has been in decline for decades. Ireland is one of only 10 countries in the world where commercial greyhound racing is still legal in 2023. Since this government took office, it has given 74 million to the greyhound racing industry, with 19 million allocated in budget 2024. There are 17 tracks in Ireland and no one to fill them. Youghal Greyhound Track had an average of 3 people at their meets during the start of this year. Why is it that this government refuses to acknowledge what the overwhelming majority of the country clearly knows? Greyhound racing, although not exclusively but predominantly, is a cruel industry that has no place in modern society. Despite some breeders and trainers taking good care of their dogs, everywhere greyhound racing is operating, the story is the same, with rampant animal welfare abuses, injuries, fatalities, overbreeding and culls. In country after country, the industry is being banned. In track after track, attendance is plummeting. Yet the government continues to throw millions of euro at it every single year. Year after year, the continued support of political parties in government and in opposition for state funding of this cruel industry shocks me. The Green Party's stance remains a particular disappointment. Years of taking strong positions on animal rights and blood sports only to abandon those beliefs the second they enter government. The Labour Party have tabled an amendment calling for a review of the fund and expressing concerns about animal welfare, while at the same time, it seems, approving annual funding yet again. A free vote was allowed last year on this motion, so it's disappointing to see all Labour TDs' names attached to this amendment. And it was very welcome last year to see Sinn Fein voting against this motion, and I hope it will be repeated this evening. Following the 2019 RTE documentary, which revealed the scale of abuses in the industry, up to 7,000 dogs bred to be killed annually, the Greyhound Board introduced a deeply flawed traceability system. Non-coursing greyhounds are only registered on the system at 12 weeks, and only if they were born in the Republic. No dogs born in the North are included. There is absolutely no way of knowing the extent of the overbreeding problem if we don't know how many dogs are born in a given year. We know that thousands of dogs have been bred and then destroyed because they didn't make the cut. Destinations for exports of dogs to any country other than the UK are not recorded on the system, despite the fact that we know Irish greyhounds are still sold to China and Pakistan, both countries with horrendous animal rights records. Since this government has taken office, 438 dogs have died on the tracks and 1,026 have been injured. Some of these dogs were hurt so seriously they had to be put down immediately. And these are only the figures for races. We have no idea how many dogs have suffered and died at trials where, appallingly, vets are not required to be present. The Committee on Agriculture, Food and the Marine's report on dog welfare noted there is virtually no oversight and transparency concerning canine artificial insemination, a process so dangerous for dogs that it's banned in the UK. And yet somehow it is still legal here. Over 500 female greyhounds have been put through this cruel and painful procedure since 2019, all to facilitate a rampant overbreeding of greyhounds, which is a hallmark of this industry here. I fully expect that this motion, despite all of these glaring, unaddressed issues, will pass, not with the support of the majority of the public, but somehow with the support of the majority of parties in this chamber. Public funding to the greyhound industry must end. The importance of the industry to the survival of rural communities is fantasy. But if parties in this chamber are so convinced of its importance and popularity, then why not let it survive on a commercial basis? But the Minister, the Government, Labour and other independent TDs do not want that, because they all know the support isn't there and that the industry would collapse without the annual handout of taxpayers' money. When will they face reality and end the state subsidy to this cruelty?
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy.